Hi, and welcome to November 2024 Patreon rewards video. Okay, so today, this month I did very little work on personal work. I've been working, doing my storyboards at work, and really not getting much chance to work on my own stuff. I really got to figure out a way to just set aside some time. So I'm gonna see about working on that. But the problem that I'm having with that is that the the work I really ought to be doing is working on that storyboard for my wife. The problem with that is that's yeah, that's really tough because I have to use different programs. If it's one thing to take out my sketchbook and sketch for 15 minutes, it's another to actually do a project that I need to finish while after or around the time that I'm supposed to be working on something else that I have to do at work. I'm using the same program. I have to have different computers to do it. It's actually kind of it was easier when I had my laptop, but my laptop is practically dead. I have to replace the battery on it, and replacing the battery on a Wacom Cintiq companion is a headache. You can't just unscrew it's just a headache, and I don't want to do it, but I got to do it. And it's been sitting idle for months because I haven't replaced that battery, and it's an absolute nightmare to open Wacom Cintiq tablets just to replace the battery. If it was any other kind of laptop, it would have been much easier. But in any case, because of that, I'm going to be sharing an old sketch. The rest, I'm going to continue sharing my sketchbook. That one sketchbook that I've been, whenever I don't have anything to share, I share that sketchbook. It's getting interesting because I'm slowly making my way up to a class that I took and I took notes from. And when I get to that point, like maybe if I still don't do something next month, that would be kind of a lucky thing, because what I'm going to share next month in that sketchbook is all the notes and all this other stuff from the composition concept art class that I had. And I'm going to also scan the handouts and some of the things. I have a lot of loose papers. That's going to be also scanned, and I think you're going to find it interesting. But in any case, let me share what I do have on my sketchbook here. So let me just show you what I did. And again, this is a sketchbook that was one of the turning point sketchbooks that I have, where I was in the most, I was learning the most, and things were switching in my head. So here's a sketch, a sketchbook page. So I think what was going on here in this particular sketch page is that I was trying to be a little bit more contour-ish, a little bit more loose, a little bit more like I'm just gonna. I have friends whose sketches that I saw that were just so clear and clean, and it was just they would just follow the contours and follow. So I was trying to get to that point. I was trying to get just get as fast as possible, go as straight into the drawing as possible, kind of like Kim Jong-gi. You know, if you look at the way that he sketches, he just kind of goes and just draws the outline of stuff. Like I was kind of that was before I even knew Kim Jong-gi wasn't even on the scene at the time, right? Like this was years and years and years and years and years before Kim Jong-gi even appeared on the scene. But it was that sort of sketches. So that was my attempt of sketching in that way here. Not sure if they were all that successful, but that's the entire point of the sketchbook, is to fail, right? Just to do what you can and then fail and be okay. I'm a little bit more of that. Some drawing, some sketches here. Let me see. What's this? Bossy, Roger, Stefan, Psychotic, 15. What is this? See, because I haven't even looked at what this stuff is. I just scanned it, and I was going to talk about it as I saw it. Swing with by young Ben to English Ethan Spalding. Ethan Spalding is a friend of mine. I don't know what I'm... Black, African accent, and pagan. Bossy. With scope. Gorilla Hispanic. Roger, quiet thinker. Andrew, arrogant, smartass. Okay, so these are characters and character archetypes. So this must be... Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure exactly what that is. Because I have friends' names, ex-girlfriends' names in here. By the way, any ex-girlfriend that I have no ill will towards them. We actually broke up in extremely good terms. Okay. This for sure is just animation notes. This is the... it's kind of like I'm doing some thumbnails for... I believe it's an animation test that I did, and so I was just doing little thumbnails here. And this is obviously just some dog sketches and some studies. This is a page of Frank Frazetta sketch copies. Obviously, this is totally Frank Frazetta. And I was just doing some studies from Frank Frazetta. So that's what this is. This is just me copying Frazetta. Quite a few of this sort of things. There's a lot of copies in this sketchbook, just like me just copying. More Frazetta copies. So here is me trying to get that line, trying to get the feathering, the shading line, so that I was able to attempt to emulate his feathering, his shading with the pen. Obviously, I have zero. I don't nowhere near as good as unskilled as possible. Like, this isn't quite right. Another thing is that what I was doing here in both of these looks like very little underdrawing, just going straight. As straight as possible, drawing this stuff without constructing. So there is some construction, obviously. But it's very minimal. So a lot of this stuff loses proportion and stuff like that. That's one of the things that happens when you're not doing a lot of underdrawing, is that sometimes your proportions go out of whack. Like they just go out of control. More Frazetta copies. So this was just me. A lot of Frazetta stuff. Okay, so this is the beginning of the notes that I have for the concept art class that I was talking about. So in here I have just again more contour kind of sketching, visual sketching here. So let's say start with a gesture till it feels right. Then after gesture, find the perspective points. That's interesting because this is exactly the kind of thing that I'm teaching. So if you've been, if you're on Patreon, you're getting all my the construction stuff lessons that I'm giving you guys. That I'm going to be eventually. It'll be an official course, right? But this is where it started making sense to me. Like I actually wrote it down. I actually say this in there's a whole lesson on it in those videos. But this is it. This is where it started coming from. Do the gesture first, and then after the gesture, find the perspective points. Figure out where you're going, and then backwards engineer the perspective. Do not put the perspective first and then try to sketch something out. You first do the drawing, then you do the perspective. pull order out of chaos. Yeah, there you go. See, so that was me going, oh, I got it. Like that's what it is. You first scribbling, sketching, not knowing where you're going, chaos, 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 and then pull out the order, pull out the things, make everything start making sense, right? Distortion, distortion, something big, normally something small. One vision is, okay, so cone vision is 60 degrees. So cone vision would be normal vision, right? Like your vision, the way that you see things, it's 60 degrees, right? So nothing would be distorted. But once you go beyond the 60 degrees vision, then you start getting distortion. Something big, normally something small. So you can make something small look big just by distorting it. Medium weight, like I misspelled medium. Medium weight trace, crossing horizon, set scale. Okay, so this is just the distortion idea. Like you distort here, and this is just a normal. But here we have like a high horizon line. I actually talk about that in those videos. So these are just kind of like examples of this. This is 50-50. Oh, yeah, so 50-50. Okay, so this is composition. And again, I talk about this stuff in those video series. Like, so, especially in the sketching one, where I'm telling you, avoid the 50-50 split. So this is the frame. This is the 50-50 split. Everything is straight on. The thing is right smack in the middle. And so what do? You just, this is the 50-50 split. Usually you want to avoid it. You usually want to avoid it unless you're doing an icon or a sticker or something like that. That's just meant to be like bang, like a symbol, right? Like that's when you get the 50-50. Everything is perfectly aligned. Everything is just. There are times and places where you want the 50-50. Everything goes straight. Usually, like I said, icons, symbols, things like that. Like that. That's when you want the straight. Most of the time, you want to err on the side of breaking up the picture plane, not everything going to the same horizon line. Add variation, things like that. These are just observational sketches of I don't know. What is this? So I'm trying to remember what this is. There's obviously a projector. There's a TV here. Where was I that I was drawing this? This looks, I don't even remember. But again, this was just me trying to draw something in perspective. And I think it doesn't look good. I think I failed. This is a complete and total failure of a good, well executed object in space. Like I don't like it. This here is my girlfriend at the time drawing little faces on my sketchbook. Observational drawings of people, and terrible. They're terrible. I don't like any of they're just bad. They're just bad. Okay, let's see. Can I flip it? Okay. This is I believe just me trying to do an environment out of my head. It's kind of ugly. I have to say I don't like it. I don't know exactly what I was thinking or what this is for. It's an assignment. I think it was just like me coming up with ideas for an environment because I was taking the concept art class. And I was just, but I think what it is, okay, so this is something like, I put a bunch of abstract shapes in the composition, in placing them in different areas of the page, and then I was trying to make an environment out of the abstract shapes. I think that's what this is. And it just doesn't look good. I don't know, like it's just poorly executed. But again, this is where I started, like, things started clicking. It's just the execution of the stuff that I'm learning isn't quite happening. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just not quite there yet. Let's see, what's this? Whoop. Okay. I think this is definitely not my drawings, for sure. This is my friend or a teacher trying to explain something to me. That's what this is. I now years later, I don't exactly remember what the context of these doodles are, but that's what this is. That's what this is. Okay, and then this month's postcard. So, dang, the light is crazy right now. It's just blown. I don't know why, completely blown out. My lighting is totally blown out. But here's the this month's postcard, and again, Conan. I'm still on my Conan kick. I don't know when I'll get out of it, but I'll just say that the winner of this this postcard is Raul. So Raul, I don't remember how many times you've won, but this month you won the postcard. So congratulations. And yeah, so that's it. That's the Patreon rewards. Thank you guys for your support. Like, seriously, I really appreciate it. You don't have to support me, but you do, and I love you for it. And it really does help, and it motivates me to try to do my best to keep working. And again, and I'm sorry that if I'm not doing as much as I used to. Again, there's a lot of burnout going on. There's a lot of extra work going on. There's a lot of stuff going on in my house. I'm trying to just. There's a lot of stuff going on. So something that you guys and you guys don't know and stuff like that. Like, but for example, my son broke his arm a couple of weeks ago, and then I had to take him to the ER. And then they had to put his arm back together. And that was a harrowing experience for me. He was unconscious the whole time, but watching them do that was absolutely bananas. And then, but it wasn't, his bones weren't quite aligned correctly. So we took him to a specialist, and then they said, yeah, we're going to have to make sure that his bones are aligned. So then he had to have an operation where they re-broke the bones and lined them up, and then he ended up having to recover twice, and so there's like that was going on behind the scenes. You know, there's lots of dramas, lots of things going on. So sometimes just life gets in the way. Trying to spend time with my kids and not just be sketching and not just be doing Patreon stuff and not just like there's like a lot of and on top of that getting my work done. Whew, there's so much stuff, man. There's so much stuff. So thank you so much, because this is I'm telling you this because I'm just letting you know that if there seems to be any slowdown on my part, it isn't because I want there to be. It's just that and I'm telling you this also because I want you to know that I appreciate the fact that you guys are supporting me on Patreon, because it's really I'm just super grateful for that, and I just want you guys to know that. Okay, so thank you for watching, and I will talk to you next time. All right, bye. So I'm happy to announce that I now have a new drawing lesson called Drafu Guide to Sketching and Gesture Foundations. It's the beginning of the level 2 information that people have been asking me for the drawing website, which will teach you where to start drawing, what to draw when you draw, how to draw from observation, how to draw from imagination, how to draw what you envision, and how to discover what you ought to envision if you don't have anything specific in mind. So if you find any of this interesting, you could follow the link that you see, or you can go to thedrawingwebsite.com, look under level 2, and you'll find a link there.